everybody, welcome back to Afternoons on the Porch right here at the world famous Music City Bar and Grill. I am your host, Hollywood Howie of Southern Country Radio, and we've had an all-star, top-notch bunch of musicians up here with us today, and I appreciate them all for coming out. I'll tell you, it's been one of my best days yet. Normally, I'm the one up here doing all the talking, but I'll tell you, I've just got to sit back, relax, and enjoy the music today. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Lynn Owsley and let him and the rest of them take us out. Go ahead, Lynn, it's all yours. Yeah.
Well, you're a real generous man.
I try to be.
We're on TV.
Yeah, you're on
Yes,
TV.
we're on TV.
Okay, well,
Those poor
I
folks
don't
out
know
there.
what to do except make my impersonation of a shoot.
Well, you know what's scary, Lynn?
I can't even
get
think
back
of
up
anybody
there,
I can
Brian?
impersonate.
Well, you know what's scary is them folks.
Maybe
They
I'll
got to look at both of us at the same
Maybe
time.
I'll just play something and keep my mouth shut.
Hey,
That'd be a first. I didn't say that.
we got some hecklers in the audience today. All right, with that being said, take it away, boys.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo!
Just to remind you to donate some money to St. Jude's Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. That's Danny Boy, and Danny Thomas started that many years ago, so drop them some dollars if you get a chance. They'll take care of kids.
Definitely. Hey, Billy, you sitting there wondering what to do. Well, how about we get one song out of you before we're going to let Billy Robinson close us out today.
Now, I'll tell you,
You can
I
do
know
it.
what.
yesterday,
He needs to
I got to
talk.
interrupt right here. Yesterday, Billy and I were talking,
Uh-oh.
and I just happened to reminisce, and I said, if that guitar could talk, he said, Lynn, if it could talk, I'd put a muzzle on it. Billy, tell him about,
He has
tell
to
him
have
about
a-
when he was in the Army.
He needs a
unhooked
mic.
himself, It looks like.
He doesn't have a mic. Hello. Now.
Now he's all mic'd up.
Well, I could tell you a couple of stories about the great Hank Williams Sr. I worked with him the first night he played on the Grand Ole Opry many years ago. It was 1949, and I went to Germany with him in 1949. We flew over there in what was Eisenhower's plane when he was a general, well, we traveled all over Germany, had Minnie Pearl and Rod Brasfield and Roy Acuff, and we had a great time over there. And I remember Hank Williams, a nice man, and he was only, it's just hard for me to believe that he was just 29 years old when he passed away. And of course, I was 19 years old when I was working with him in Germany. The Grand Ole Opry, the first trip that they made over there, and a lot of really good stories about him. I remember one time we were in Berlin and Berlin, Germany, and you had to have you had different areas there in Germany. You had the Russian sector, and you had the American sector, and the French sector, and so they gave us orders, and they were written in Russian, and no, you couldn't read it. And Hank looked at that, and he looked at me and said, "Billy says the damn Russians can't win a war because they don't even know how to spell." I remember we went up to the Heidelberg Castle where we were just visiting different places over there, and there was in this big castle down, it was just ruins of it, but they had a great big wine barrel down there, and the wine barrel held like 2,500 gallons of wine. Well, Hank used to imbibe a little bit, and he looked at me and said, "Billy, think we get that thing on the airplane?" Well, there's so many stories, but at any rate, what are we going to do, Lynn? We're going to do...
I think we got time for about one more.
Let's take one. You got to take some?
Yeah.
Help like in romance.
Do what?
Help like in love.
F like in love.
Well, I got one thing I could do for you here.
Y'all remember Cold Heart.
Oh, yeah.
One of our dear friends.
Well, I'll tell you, I might tell them a little bit about this guitar here. This guitar can speak.
That's
Now,
it.
that sounds impossible, but it really can talk, and I'm going to do a little talking for you.
Good.
here, okay?
Wait a minute, Billy. You don't have a mask on that guitar.
Oh boy.
So here we go. I'll say, "Hey, steel guitar, what do you want? You want your mama? Well, holler at your mama." Oh, that's pitiful. Holler where she can hear you. Well, let's tell these folks, say, "I want my mama." Well, I'll tell you what, I think your mama's probably out there on the farm. How did she get out there on the farm? Yeah, she got there on the old train, didn't she? Well, tell us, Ted, what do they have out there on the farm? They got chickens out there, and they got old moo cows out there too. Well, I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's just go do a little poem for your mama. Is that okay with you? Or let's do it. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. That's it.
And that's why this man is one of the greats right there.
How about that?
All righty. One more before we close the show, guys. Take it away.
Don't get around much.
Huh?
I don't get around much anymore.
We know that already.
I don't either.
way you end the show right there. I want to go ahead.
Now,
Man.
this is not our thing. We don't play solo much. The steel guitar is a accompaniment instrument to add and enhance and whatever to the vocalist. And we would express a feeling of drama, or sadness, or crying. The steel guitar is associated with crying. And to give you an idea of drama, like y'all remember George Jones. And Neil reminded me of this. Neil Jones back there, he's another steel guitar player. And Austin over there, they have studied this old stuff and they know it. But George Jones had this thing many years ago, big hit, and I was not on it. Jimmy Day was, one of my dear friends, but Jimmy said, we'll put some drama to it. And I cut it later on and I put some even more, I think. But a thing called Window Above, y'all remember that? It's true because I was watching from the window above. The kickoff needed some drama, so here's what we did. And then George would come in and sing. I didn't know. What's the first line of that, Neil?
From my eyes a teardrop, no.
No. I was living anew.
I was living in
Yeah.
I'm not even sure about, but anyhow, that adds drama. Bill, I'm gonna tell them about the organ. Hang tight just 1 minute. But I gotta tell them about the steel guitar, the instrument that we're playing. Now y'all notice that he ain't got no pedals. And he ain't got none of these knee levers here. You see, I'm country. I got knee levers.
Well, he ain't
Anyhow, the steel guitar, there's certain things that are steel with pedals and knee levers that I can do that's impossible for him to do. But the steel guitar is such an impressive and such a great instrument. And I'd like for y'all to know, and everybody that's watching today, the steel guitar is the only instrument of the United States. Now, Europe claims the strings and the horns and the violins and stuff. Africa claims the banjo. Well, they can have it. They claim the banjo and the drums. There's only one instrument that was ever invented and was born here. This steel guitar. And it was born in the 50th state in Hawaii, and it was refined and became a pedal steel guitar in Indiana with the Harlan brothers, the old multichord. That was the first pedal steel. The pedal steel was born in Indiana, but I want to tell you, it was raised right here in Nashville. We got a hold of it. We put pedals on it. So I like to wave the flag when I play this thing, but I got to tell them a little story about several years ago. My grandmother had a pump organ. You know, you put your feet on it, you do that pump. Well, I was about 8 years old, and my mother bought my grandmother a vacuum cleaner, one of them Electrolux, had 3 wheels on it, and I played with, and I found out you could take the hose out of that thing from the side that sucks and put it over on the other side and it blows. And I got her pump organ and took that hose loose and hooked that damn vacuum cleaner up to that pump organ where I wouldn't have to pump it. And I blow dirt all over 3 rooms. So they're gonna kick my ass about that. I just invented the B3. I did that was way before the B3. But here's what it sounds like. And now you can't do this with a non-pedal guitar. So Billy, I'll just let you sit back and watch. Because you can't do what I'm fixing to do with a non-pedal. I'm gonna make it sound like my grandmother's old pump organ. Mr. Billy just demonstrated right there the things that can't be done with a non-competitive. He's my friend, he's my neighbor, and I love him. One more time, Mr. Billy Robinson.
Yeah.
He's the reason that Katie and me leavers were invented for this.
All right. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you all, and I definitely the show. Now, coming up next week, on the 23rd, we have got a gospel duo coming out. Brian and Sean Kosaga. I've known these two a long time. And they are so faith-filled, it's unbelievable. Now, you see Brian, think back of a young Joe Bonesell from the Oak Ridge Boys. That's who Brian's going to remind you of. But they will be here next Wednesday, right here live on the porch with me. And then if y'all would, take us out.
Oh, well, we're going to take you out with remembering an old buddy of ours. Y'all remember Hank Snow?
Yep.
Oh,
Do you ever? Well, he cut a Elvis Presley song, or vice versa. Hank had Elvis under contract, and they had this song, and it's very appropriate for today. As Billy and I can play it, if y'all would bear with us, we're without a band, we're without a sound set, and we don't have a clue either.
Duh.
But we're going to play you one called a that song. Okay, we're gonna do it for you, but we're also gonna do it for our buddy who was a steel player in Snow for many years, and we loved our buddy Kate, and he's also a Hall of Fame member, and innovator and creator and a master musician, and more than that, he was our friend and neighbor, and we loved him. We're gonna do this in memory of Kate.
one thing real quick here, Lynn, before you get started. Hold on, baby. Hold on with me. I forgot to remind y'all, don't go nowhere after this. Coming up at 6 o'clock, right here is the Music City Playboys.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss them boys.
Woo!
All righty, take it away, guys.
3, 4, 1, 2. what you might hear in our living room with that. Even without a band, Billy, that was great, and thanks to Paul Morin back
Yes.
here.
Lynn, thank you so much. It's always great to see you, and always great to hear you play that steel, I'll tell you. And Billy Robertson, we love you, brother, and thank you so much for coming out. What an honor to have you on the show today.
Before I go, I would like to remind all the viewers and listeners and the people in the audience, because I'm proud of it, this is my real hair.
Lynn, anytime you want, you just let me know and I'll loan you something. All right, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Like I said, stick around. Coming up from 6 to 10 is the Music City Playboys. Don't forget to get yourself one of these great Music City Bar and Grill t-shirts and try out one of our signature drinks, the Music City Sunrise. You can get it in raspberry, cherry, grape, blueberry, vanilla, and citrus. And I'll tell you, my favorite is the raspberry. It is addicting. And of course, Dylan back there behind the bar, and he's a great bartender. He created the Music City Sunrise, so y'all try that out. And come on back next week and set a spell. Thank y'all.